Squad, two of the most exciting parts about Season 6 and the hype around Season 6 were announced at the very beginning, and the most recent announcement, which kind of came out of nowhere, and we're going to cover them both in one video. Yes, we're going to be covering the Performance Center in full, going through all the do's, don'ts, can'ts, etc. about the mode, speeding up a lot of singles into pros, and then using those singles and pros to make our first Fortified Pros, and then comparing those to standard pros. So you guys get an idea of what you're dealing with some of these Fortified Pros. They are crazy overpowered and could give some money in the bank cards and some event cards a run for their money. You haven't checked out all the Season 6 content, I do recommend you go to the playlist, first of all, which is going to be up in the top right hand corner of your screen. But if you just want to ignore me and get on and watch this, then feel free to. But whilst you're there, do find the little thumbs up button and smack it if you breathe oxygen or you exist. Because if you didn't exist, you wouldn't be here right now watching this video unless there's some ghost tube or something where ghosts or souls watch in the afterlife. Anyway, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on, because we're getting really deep into the Season 6 stuff now. So let's start off with the Performance Center. I've got some notes here that I have made about the Performance Center. It's it's going to change how you play SuperCard forever. Regardless of what tier, what level you play at, whether you're a hardcore, casual, it's going to give you an extra way of boosting your cards, and effectively adds an extra element to make your quality of life better in the game, to remove some of the grindy elements, and to, I don't know, enjoy the game more, I guess. Because the enjoyment aspect is much bigger than anything else. Before we get into the Performance Center though, I want to know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below, and once you've seen the Fortified Pros, please let me know your thoughts on all of the crazy stuff. Especially those stats, wow. Like I said, in the comment section down below. Okay, so the Performance Center. I've actually personally been there myself. It's an amazing place, and this does its best to kind of replicate some of the things that go on there. I'm loving the little animations. You've got like a little boxing spa with like a boxing, where you do the practicing. Not sure what it's called. Yeah, boxing ball? I'm not sure. Basically practice boxing, running with the skipping ropes and the chains, like doing the flicking with the chains you always see people do. And then with the in-ring performance training, it's got like you doing loads of little moves in the game, or loads of moves in the ring. And it just looks really cool. It's a nice little touch from Cat Daddy to add these things into the game. They could have just had it like the fusion chamber with no real animations, and it just kind of is there. And considering there's no real gameplay to the Performance Center, it is a nice touch, I personally think, from Cat Daddy. It is a two-part feature, and it offers the chance to let the cards do the work and massively improve the quality of life, especially when someone like me, who's always busy with rendering and trying to do 2K20, trying to do SuperCard, trying to stream, it helps me out massively. Some might not use it, but for everyone else, it's quite good. I'd say there's like going to be 1%, 2% of people who end up not using it when it comes out, because it is so freaking useful, and part of it is free, which I have a little bit of a problem with. Part of it's free, but let's break it down. It's split into two sections. The first of which is called an in-ring conditioning, or I'm going to call IRC, and then you got the gym workout. So I'm going to call it in-ring and gym. The in-ring conditioning, it works on the matches required to have a fully leveled pro. In Season 5 card, sorry, you said Season 6 card, this covers your power, toughness, speed, and charisma. And for Season 6 cards, it covers the 100 matches that are needed to have a fully leveled card. This will go until all 100 matches have been done. Once you put it in, you can't bring it out for any other reason than to literally complete the fusion. So you have to put credits in or wait until it's done. With the gym workout, it's actually working on the leveling, which is 0 to 100. Now, some people will probably just ignore this because you can just collect cards in game and train them into them, but some will decide it's a little bit harder to level the cards up this year. So they're going to go, you know what? I'm just going to do the gym workout. But this does come at a cost of credits, which I'm not really a fan of, that everything requires credits with the gym workout. I was hoping that maybe they'd make it for free. Even if it's like once every week you get one free gym workout or something. I just think that it's a little bit annoying. Especially given that a lot of hardcore players will probably ignore it because they're going to have so many cards they can train into cards. It does mean there's going to be less, in my opinion, with the amount of cards being needed, less ingredients for the fusion chamber, which could cause a problem and may force people down this route to save cards up for the fusion chamber. But that's just my thoughts. That's just what goes on in here, in this little noggin. I say little noggin. I don't know if this is big or small. I don't know. What's the brain in there? I hope it's big. Actually, no. Apparently, big is worse. Anyway, you can speed these up, and the prices range from 420 credits to over 3,000 credits to complete the training on either session. And it does depend on the kind of cards you're leveling up, whether they're singles, whether they're pros. If they're pros, the cost is less because it has less of an effect on the overall card, and the stats are a little bit different. You get 6 slots for each. The first, as I mentioned earlier on, the in-ring conditioning is completely free of charge. Whereas all the gym workouts are not. They all require cost, and I think that's wrong. Cat Daddy, please change that to at least have one free, even if it's just once per week. To sum it up, it's effectively a fusion chamber for training cards. It's quite apt. Maybe they could have half price on training on a Tuesday, see? Training Tuesday. Maybe they could do that. Training Tuesday, Wild Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, Fusion Friday. Literally, I'm just a genius. Hire me. Seriously, hire me. But moving on to a couple of quick facts about the Performance Center. First of all, cards can still be used whilst they're in there. They're not locked out. Cards can also still be leveled whilst you're in the in-ring conditioning section. But you cannot level a card whilst it's in the gym workout session. And any matches you play on the card will not count towards the matches played whilst it's in the in-ring conditioning. So just bear that in mind if you're going to put a card in your training and then put it in your Team Road to Glory deck. It's going to cause some problems, especially if you're putting it in for 4 days for it to end up doing absolutely nothing to the training games. You can also not pro any cards that are in the chamber, but that's probably pretty obvious because you probably wouldn't want to train any cards if you're going to be keeping those anyway. And that's basically the Performance Center in a nutshell. It's going to be good. I think there's the people who will automatically get a benefit from this are, like I said, the casual players. The people who get pros straight away at the beginning of a tier are going to benefit from this. Anyone who speeds up on the first day of an event. I know a lot of people who get the event card on day 1, so they've got a weekend, even if that costs them several thousands of credits. They'll do that. You could just put it into the training and have a fully leveled card before the end of the event. And I think there's going to be quite a few people who end up doing that. But let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section. I think that there needs to be, I think it's good. I think it's one of those things that's just missing one thing, and that is having one of the gym workouts as free of charge. Even like I said, if it's like a once per week thing, so once every 7 days or something like that. It needs to happen. I don't like it, and I've said it before, I don't like it that people hide parts of the game behind paywalls. Not cool. But now we go on to the Fortified Pros. Now, if you aren't aware already, this is a brand new feature which is designed to get people to benefit more from duplicates. And I personally believe this could be used to increase rewards and get more cards off the board, so drop the reset rate as well and include more rewards in events. Because what this does is it offers an ability to break through the cards level. To give this a very brief run through, a single card goes up to 100 levels. A pro goes up to 105. When it comes to a fortified card, it goes up by additional 5 levels, and again until you get to F3. Now, there's 3 different classes for fortified cards. F1, F2, and F3. At the moment, F3 is the most it can go to. And as you go up, it gets more and more, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And we are going to compare those very soon. But as you can see on the screen, I am leveling up not just a Kalisto, but Bray Wyatt and a Vanguard AJ Styles. So you are going to see one of the first fortified Vanguard cards. Kalisto is also going to be fully fortified as well, and I think the Fiend has 2. And I think I did do another fortified card by the end, but I didn't include it in this video. So the way it works is that you fully level up your cards, you get a pro, awesome, and then you just so happen to pull another AJ Styles. You got pro AJ Styles, just so happen to pull another one because you're a lucky, lucky boy, and you should be very, very happy. Or a lucky girl. Doesn't matter, regardless of your gender. Not about gender, we're talking about fortifying cards. So you have now the option to add that card into the pro to make it stronger, or you can hold it back and wait for another card to come along and you can pro it, just like a normal card. And you can do that 3 times. That's it in a nutshell. You don't have to level that card up. The only thing you need to do is make sure you've got a perfect pro for your card so you get the best out of the stats. So that's just playing all the matches, leveling the card up to 100 both times, pro it, and then this comes along and helps you even further. As far as I'm aware, there is no problem at all with putting in additional cards at level 0 with no games played at all. As far as I'm aware. But a lot of people are probably going to be sitting there thinking, well, what's the benefit of doing this? Well, here's a side-by-side comparison between a Batista Pro, fully leveled, fully gamed, versus a fully fortified AJ Styles F3 card. And you can see there is a significant difference in stats. Go to F3. So even with just an F1 or an F2, it's going to be significant. And you go up against these kind of cards in King of the Ring, you are going to get slapped around like silly. However, if you look at the difference between the Kalisto and the Eddie Guerrero, the Kalisto and the Eddie Guerrero, Kalisto is obviously quite low in the tier, as he should be. As Eddie Guerrero seemingly is quite high in the tier, which would tell me that if you do it for the higher up cards like AJ Styles, you're going to get a much better benefit from this. Whereas with Eddie Guerrero, he is beating Kalisto in charisma, and he's not far off for speed, even though Kalisto is a fully fortified F3 card. So there you go. You have seen your first ever fortified cards in the game. Let me know what your thoughts are on the craziness of those stats down below, and make sure you're smashing that like button. And you know what? I'm going to try and get an F3 quite early on. I mean, you'll be able to actually get a fortified free card by doing all of the gobbledygooker, so you can actually test it out yourself. The gobbledygooker, as far as I'm aware, has lesser stats than a standard Nightmare card. So it's not going to really compare too much against the likes of the Fiend Bray Wyatt, which you can see here, which is a level 2. But we'll be having a comparison of the stats very, very soon. I hope you guys liked what you saw. If you enjoyed it and you breathe oxygen, make sure you're smacking that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on. And I'll see you in the next one.